Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today a look at Wave 8's U.S.S. Enterprise E. There were some letters like NCC 1701 in there, but very unneeded. Uh, the Enterprise E, Sovereign class, and have your opinions, but the E is a gorgeous design. I wish it had come back in Picard. I still want to know what Worf did to it. Um, Please give me the short trek about that. It's a 5155. The Sovereign class, I've loved it. It works wonders in attack wing. You may fire a torpedo at an enemy ship without needing a target lock. If you do so, place an Ox power token beside your ship. This should have been an ability card in Alliance. Uh, Even if it was overpriced for Alliance, it would have made things in Alliance so much nicer. But yeah, double crew, double weapon, and a tech slot for 32 points. Touch overpriced these days, but still a great card. I really hope and I anticipate a reprint of this, maybe with a different named ability, but I think the Enterprise E is going to come back. It is one of the most sought after ships. And just like we saw the Scimitar come back in Secrets of the Tal Shiar, I think the Enterprise E is one of the missed ships. I know we got the Sovereign class, but we didn't get the E, and I think there's plans for it. So, maneuver dial. You get the one reverse. You get 1, 2, 3 banks, 3 turns, 4, 5 straight, a 6 red straight. Uh, I had a decision to make in my Alliance playthrough. I knew I was going to go up to skill 9, keep my Fed ship. Did I want to go Sovereign? Did I want to go Prometheus class? And the Sovereign does offer a little more durability than the Prometheus, but the Prometheus class has just a different dial. I like 4 banks. I like the 6 straight being white, not red. So that's why I went Prometheus. But Sovereign's still a cool ship. It's a nice ability. There's a lot of good on this dial. Um, yeah, 9090 firing arc. Again, a lot to like here. Generics are down now at 25 points, a double crew, weapon tech. So you're losing that weapon slot. I think generic sovereigns are a pretty solid ship. They're beefy. There's a lot of points invested just in the ship frame, but it's a really good ship to have there. Picard, Jean-Luc Picard, skill 8. I don't know how he lost captain skill going from the Enterprise D to the Enterprise E, but he did. Uh, Add 1 crew, tech, weapon, or talent upgrade to your upgrade bar, your choice. And I always loved that part. That's just a great ability, period. But there's more. At the start of the game, after setup, choose a faction. Whenever you attack a ship of that faction, you may roll 1 less attack die to add a crit result to your roll. And each time you defend against a ship of that faction, you get to roll 1 extra defense die. This is just great. I love this ability. I consider this, I think it was the 3rd best Picard, and that should tell you how good other Jean-Luc Picards are, because this was and still is a very good version of Jean-Luc Picard that I highly consider running in lots of fleets. I very much enjoy it. If I need the extra slot, this is definitely my go-to. And if I need weapons that depend on crits, I'm using Picard because I want my guaranteed crits. That's just how life's going to go. So I like Picard. This is probably my favorite for mission play when I know I'm going up against a faction of a type. Matthew Dougherty, on the other hand, is less than good. For skill 4, 3 points, action, disable one of your upgrades to perform this action. Each time you defend this round, during the roll defense die step of the combat phase, roll 1 extra defense die. Yeah. If I know I'm getting attacked by like 8 ships, then maybe. Otherwise, yeah, no, we're just not going there. And yes, Dougherty does come as an admiral to do the same thing. Same issue. I'm just going to take evade. And that's a theme we're going to see. Dougherty giving a skill boost is ironic. He should have been a detractor. He's overpriced. There's no way he should have ever been 3 points. Fire at will, and I feel bad for Riker with this card. So many jokes. During the combat phase, instead of making a normal attack, you may discard this card to make one attack with your primary weapon and one attack with one of your secondary weapons. Each of these attacks is at -1 attack die and must be made against different enemy ships. I have a build for this. I think I'll have a build academy about it. But this is actually a really cool card. It's a bit pricey, but the fact that you can make 2 attacks actually says a lot. So I like that. I like the potential here. I don't think it holds up to modern standards, but I think it is really cool in, again, mission play. I think there's a lot to like here. And if you build it right, I think that a lot of good can actually happen. So fire at will. Intriguing card. Make It So is another 5-point talent, and again, I think that they just got stuck on 5 points. When performing an action or an attack that requires you to disable one of your upgrades, you may discard this card instead of disabling the upgrade. There's potential here. I think this card should have said requires you to disable or discard one of your upgrades, that you could discard this card instead. That would have made it a lot more potent. It would have let you save some crew. I'm thinking of even like a McCoy, where you could perform your captain action at the cost of discarding McCoy, but then Make It So could let you save McCoy. That sort of thing. Again, way too expensive to actually want to use it. But yeah, if I'm just saving a disable, 5 points, too pricey. Quantum torpedoes, and quantum's very cool. Attack, target lock, spin your target lock and disable this card to perform the attack. If the target ship's hit, add a hit result to your total damage. You may fire this weapon from forward or rear firing arcs. 6 points, 5 dice. We've seen better quantums. I like quantums that give me a chance. I've always said that exploding dice should be a thing. Let me roll like more dice for crits, that sort of effect. I don't know. I just, this doesn't feel like a quantum torpedo just getting one extra hit, but yeah, it's okay. Photons, these are pretty standard photons. They're 5 dice. You get an extra die from a sovereign, forward, rear arc, but they cost 6 points, and that is way too much. Even if they were time tokens, these should have been like 2 dice or 2 points, maybe 3 points. And even then, the alliance ones are just better. The ships of the line one are better. They're just, yeah, they're just, these are just bad. A dorsal phaser array, on the other hand, this is a good weapon, and don't be deceived by 0 points. It's really a star. You may fire this weapon in any direction. The attack value is equal to the ship's primary weapon value. Okay, cool. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Federation ship with a hull value of 4 or greater, and the cost is equal to the primary weapon value plus 1. So you're paying like 6 points to put this on a Sovereign. That's a lot. You're paying, 5 points to put on Voyager. Not that you'd put on Voyager. Voyager already has 360. You're paying 5 points to put on a Galaxy class to give it 360 fire. That sort of thing. I like that you get 360 fire. I think this is a little pricey to do it, but it's a trade-off, and it's a viable trade-off. I've used dorsal phaser array a decent amount. It's a secondary weapon, which lets you get a primary and a secondary from something like fire at will, or trigger cards off of secondary weapon fire. It's viable. Again, it's not amazing, but it's viable. Advanced shields should not be talked about. This is the worst card in the game. Action: if you still have active shields, place 1 additional shield token beside your ship. Okay, cool. If you take damage this round, remove this shield token first. Fine. If you don't take damage this round, discard the extra shield token. And no ship can have more than 1 advanced shields upgrade. Why would you want to? This should... For it to be 5 points, this should have been a start of combat phase trigger. Just if you still have active shields, place an additional shield token. And then you got to remove it first. Fine, period. And then you keep it. That's how you fix it. It's not an action, and you get to regenerate the shield if you don't take damage. It incentivizes somebody to attack you. Otherwise, you're regenerating shields. And yeah, what this does is it's worse than an evade action. Where evade, you're reducing damage by 1. Here, you're reducing damage by 1, except you're paying 5 points, using a tech slot, and taking the action. You might as well just evade. And every Fed ship has evade. I guess the only time you would even consider using this is on Deep Space Nine. That's the only Federation ship I would ever think of putting this on. Shred of that? No. William T. Riker. 5 points. Add a crew slot to your upgrade bar. After you move, you can disable this card to perform the action on one of your crew, talents, or tech, or your captain's action is a free action. Very unique card. Combo piece. I like him for that. Not my favorite Riker by any means, but absolutely unique in terms of what he does. He replenishes his crew slot. He was way more useful before 50-point limit, and he is useful in mission play. I will give him that. He enables stuff. He gets combos going really early. I like him for that. What I can't do is really make him work consistently and justify the 5-point cost. Geordi, and I've done a Geordi ranking as well, so you've seen this card. Add a tech upgrade slot to your upgrade bar. Not a lot of cards do that, so he gets some points for that. And then action, disable this card, target a ship, range 1 to 3. Target ship rolls 2 less defense dice this round, and 0, of course. I don't know how you'd roll negative defense dice. And against all of your ship's attacks, so nice if you can make multiple, so there's something there. If the target ship's cloaked, flip its cloak token to its red side. That can be helpful, right? Get ships out of cloak. It's just, I don't know. I want Geordi to do more. This one's okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It just feels overpriced to me. So, yeah. Then we have Data. And again, I've done a ranking on Data. So you've seen what I think about this Data. When defending during the modified attack dice step, you may discard this card to force the attacking ship to reroll all of its attack dice. It's okay. At least you make it so they can't re-roll their dice again. So if they have a target lock on you, you modify before they do. So it's you're locking them out of being able to use their target lock. I guess you can do stuff with like Hathaway Wharf. Yeah, there is some combos to make this work, but again, there are better datas, but just not anything great here. And then we have Beverly Crusher. If one of your other crew upgrades is supposed to be disabled for any reason, you may disable this card, or if one of your other crew upgrades is supposed to be discarded, you may discard this card instead. Goval does it better and cheaper. Beverly works. She's part of combos, but she's like the disable. You put her with Phlox, it works. But again, she's expensive. She eats the crew slot. How valuable are your crew actions? They're there, but do you really need them? I don't know. Then we have Deana, and that's how the pack finishes with Deana. 3 points. For an action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 2. Disable the captain or one crew upgrade on the target ship. Place battle station beside your ship. And if the target ship's cloaked, flip the cloak token to its red side. There's good here. Definitely good. Being able to disable a captain or a crew on the target ship is nice. No shield limitations, no cloak limitations. You're just getting in, playing off of her abilities from Nemesis. Getting a battle station, nice. Again, positive things. And flipping a cloak token. Again, good things. But not great. Nothing amazing. out of Deana here. Nothing that makes me jump up and down and go, woohoo! She's just decidedly okay. So, overall, this pack. Yes, there are some very, very good cards here. But it's PKARD, and it's the named ship. That's top of it. Riker's interesting. Dorsal phasers, again, interesting. The talents, they're okay. Short of that, or after that, I honestly say they can be missed. They can be skipped over. You can play them in missions, but at that point, proxy for what this pack goes for, nah, it's just not worth it. I mean, the ship's cool. Don't get me wrong. The ship's really cool. But again, I really think it's coming back. So have some patience. Enterprise E, you'll see it again. All right. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.